Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. Today is the long-awaited set overview for set 15, Brilliant Strike. This was a game-breaking set in JP, and even with the balance changes to come, it is a meta-defining one for sure. So what are we waiting for? Let's go get started. First of all, with the monthly calendar, this is, or was, February for JP. They started with the new set on the 1st. On the 5th, they had the Valentine's 2021 event. And then on the 17th, they had Mirakuma Wave 2. There were two different rank seasons, rank season 26 and 27. And they celebrated the 10th anniversary for Cardfight Vanguard on the 26th. We will cover most of these events later. And of course, as usual, this is a depiction of JP events. It may not be 100% representative of the global experience, so take it with a grain of salt, but generally speaking, it is close enough and something that you should definitely acknowledge. First of all, with the first banner, we have set 15. It includes Royal Paladins, Kagero, Genesis, Gold Paladins, Narukami, and Nova Grappler support, so that's very exciting. And then we also have the deck build volume 2 gacha, and this includes old but always gold units from Royals, from Golds, Genesis, Kagero, Narukami, and Nova Grapplers. You can see some units featured here like Blaster Blade and Dauntless and Descendant and so on and so forth. These units are always going to be key in the deck, especially in the builds that will need them in set 15. So if you are missing some of these pieces, definitely go try out the deck build gacha. Not only will you get to pick up some featured units from these specific sets, clans, but you will also be getting revival medals to exchange for triple rares and double rares for your picking. Of course, right now, if you're a global player, we have the anniversary, so might as well just go with the anniversary and use those anniversary medals, as well just go for their respective banners specifically. For example, if you were looking for some Narukami stuff, Eradicator stuff, or some Liberator stuff, as well as some Genesis stuff, might as well just go straight ahead and just go roll for Triumphant Return of King of Knights, and the medals will work likewise as well. In terms of the V medal shop, we have Miwa reverse, we have Takuto, as well as Korin reverse. Miwa is for Kagero, Takuto is for Gold Paladin, the normal one, and the Link Joker one is for Link Joker, and Korin reverse is for Royal Paladins. These are all separate skins, so no, you will not be getting the free Miwa reverse if you bought the original Miwa skin, unlike Naoki, because Naoki gets separate special treatment, of course. Next up, we have the V coupon shop. This is what you get for joining the tournaments. You will see the return of Coral from Bermuda Triangle and Maelstrom from Aquaforce. Specifically, Maelstrom, you will probably still want 4 copies of this. It's going to be a great card. It will get, like, the support in set 16 is primarily for Maelstrom, so definitely don't miss out on that if you don't have a playset yet. For this saga, this is the final saga of the Link Joker era. We have Brilliant Strike 15, and then 16, and then 17 is the last set. So to commemorate that, we got a JP got a 20-pack bonus instead of the usual 10 or 15. So will Global get this extra 5 packs? Who knows, but this is just the case for JP. Next up, we have some Errata. So number 1, we have Raging Form Dragon. This is no technical change. It just specifies that the Raging Form that you get is out of deck. So this is just you know, out of game. You just pick up a Raging Form Dragon, you just generate it. So it's similar to cards like Chariot, and it's just theirs to make it and clarify the skill. Next up, we have Errata 2, Dauntless Drive Dragon. This is a buff. So instead of Caramelas 1, discard 3, it's Caramelas 1, discard 2. Definitely really substantial because Kagero isn't known for their draw prowess. So discarding 1 less card is actually really, really big, and will definitely propel Kagero as a clan overall up rankings. We have some expected errata. So these came around the end or the beginning of set 16 actually, but I do believe that these will come early on the release of set 15, and I'll explain why. Reiji, I mean, everyone who's been playing right now in Global will know Reiji is a threat. It's just too good. And they've acknowledged this right after the tournament. They decided to slap that Limit Break 4 onto the skill, so now they can't damage deny you unless they're already at Limit Break 4, and that significantly decelerates the deck, and then you can also damage deny Reiji, so they can't really play that obnoxious game anymore. We have Mond, which gets a nerf, slight nerf here. Before, it doesn't require a Blau Vanguard, now it does. What this means is it's stuck playing with its Blau friends, doesn't really work with other cards like Ashura, and it just keeps it in check, I guess. But overall, if you were going to be playing Mont Blau anyways, and you're playing a Nova Grappler kind of deck, you will be playing a Blau-centric build, especially given what we expect with the Ashura nerfs. So these are the Ashura nerfs, the Ashura support, Daredevil Samurai, and a Bear Down Samurai, the grade 2 and grade 1, roughly gets the same nerf. Instead of being able to just get +3 whenever a unit stands, it only gets it once per turn. So what that means is this becomes a 10k and this becomes a 12k, but it doesn't make it much better than like a Golden Anglet or whatever. So you can't make some like big fat numbers anymore, which means that it's not that great, but it is still decent, I guess. With 2 of them in the same column, you're still hitting 22, which is a fair number. That's just definitely not oppressive anymore. And lastly, the last one I would expect is Prism on the Water, Martoa. Before it used to be just on place, all players draw a card, but now it's on place. If your opponent has 7 or less cards, all players draw a card. This is just to make sure that there's no deck thinning or like deck out kind of strategies. These are a bit obnoxious in card games. A lot of games I've played try to design around them. Definitely a strategy that wasn't really developed in Bermuda, but with the Prism support in set 16, it does have a lot of potential, and I guess they were playing better safe than sorry, and understandable, definitely understandable. So that is all the changes. Let's move on to the proper events. First of all, we have Descent of the Waifu. Well, actually Goddess, but you know what it means. Minerva, the event. Collect Minerva feather accessories and exchange them for Genesis triple rares and new titles. There are different types of missions, as usual, daily and limited time missions to get these feathers. And primarily you're going to be pushed towards using set 15 clans, so the clans from this new set. It includes 50 Minerva feather accessories for one of the triple rares as follow: Yata, Fortuna, Chamomile, Artemis, and Iwanaga Hime. And you can exchange 5 of these feathers for a 10th of a pack. If you are not interested at all, you can still get resources towards packs for other stuff. It also includes daily login bonuses, including more feather accessories, sleeves, a title, and a special guaranteed triple rare pack for this campaign. This guaranteed triple rare pack was only specifically able to be used for set 15 and had an expiry date on the 18th, so around 2 to 3 weeks into the set. So be sure to log in. Hopefully Global will get this as well and guarantee us a triple rare from the new set. Next, we have the DICE event Valentine's 2021. It includes new skins for Kote, Damage It Please, and Chris Great Nature. They look really suave, and I'm definitely liking their outfits. Really like the little pins on Chris's suit, by the way. So that's really cool. You also get these icons, sleeves, and the usual stuff. Definitely nice to have. We have the clan event Miracle Wave 2. Recapturing Miyagi Academy, side Shingo. So this just has the reverse support as well as the break red support for Mirakumo. So Hyaki Vogue reverse is honestly one of my favorite units from this era. Is it that great? Well, I don't think it's that great in Vanguard 0. I don't think it really performed well, but it still is definitely really fun to play with. And definitely if you're missing some of the old stuff, you can go for those units as well. For the ranked reward, Season 26 is the Immortal Soldier Who Fears Not Despair, starring Dauntless Reverse and Ashley Reverse as sleeves, and Dauntless Drive Dragon as the ranked reward. For the ranked reward for the second half of the season, second half of the month, we have Season 27 Successor of the Sacred Regalia, Angelica and Ignition Dragon sleeves, as well as Angelica as the ranked reward. It's a bit jarring to have Angelica as both the sleeves and the ranked reward, but I guess it's an alt to art, and they both look really good, so can't complain. So next part, this is honestly my favorite part to do because it's less about just iterating the news, but I don't know what you prefer. Let me know down below so I know which part to allocate more time on. But this part is key cards to look out for. Be sure to check out the Vanguard Zero database because I'm not covering every single card. I'm only going to cover the top 3 cards in my opinion. And this is based on investment value, not necessarily the best cards of the set. And I'll explain my reasoning, but just note that this is definitely really opinionated, can't deny that. And I don't have experience in the JP meta. So if you have a different opinion based on your experience or just based on your expertise in the clan, let me know down below and definitely will help all players that are interested in the set. So first of all, best one out of the 8, Nova Grapplers with Immortal Ashura Kaiser. It's the restander, its proc condition is so much more consistent in Zero than in TCG since it's revealing a grade 3 or a samurai. Your samurai support is just insane, pumping up numbers. Daredevil Samurai and Bearded Samurai, we just talked about it. Getting +3, +3, +3, +3 whenever you stand stuff. Synergizes really well with existing break rides like Ethics Buster, but even more so with Mon Blau, which is why Mon got nerfed as well. And with these results, they refer him as Immortal until he got nerfed, but that's just the lore. Well, maybe he didn't get nerfed in the lore. Next, all things aside, I definitely think that Gold Paladin is the best clan out of this set. Assuming that Novas do get the nerf, then I totally expect them to get. If not, then it's gonna be crazy. But even so, Gold Paladin is gonna be crazy out of the set, especially with Liberator of Bonds Ganslot Zenith. Now this card helps you multi-attack in golds, helps you get those numbers with a +10. Helps you return units to the deck because you're top calling a lot in Liberators. That means that you can return stuff like PGs or triggers. You can return this card from the rear circle to your deck to call a Blaster Blade Liberator from your deck, or the drop zone if you don't have any from the deck, which is pretty insane. It basically means you can return this for intercept, as well as being able to just retire something on the board. And it is a cross ride, to say the least. It is pretty magnificent. In addition, you also have grade 3 Salvation Line Grand Easel Scissors, which acts as an unlocker, acts as a top caller, and crit pressure as well. It helps you get +10, +1 crit and counter charges at the end of the turn. Really splashable even in non-easel builds. You will know that in set 15 popular Liberator builds will include at least 1 Easel Scissors just because of the Link Joker matchup. And it definitely is really devastating. As well as we have other Liberator support like White Rainbow Liberator Balin, which just says when your Blaster Blade Liberator is placed in the same column and your Vanguard is Liberator, countercharge 1. A problem with Liberators has always been Counterblast, and Balin just solves that. You have so many opportunities to just fetch Blaster Blade Liberator consistently, for example Zenith, that Balin is just really good, and you can proc it multiple times in a game. So I think even Zenith itself is just MVP. You will note that even like Easel decks will play Zenith, and even Liberator decks will play Easel Scissors. So they're just mix and matchable. They're just really good at what they do, and definitely probably want to pick up multiple copies of these units moving forward. This is the best support ever. Both Easel and Liberators get amazing stuff, and the list is really so long. But does include other stuff like better self-damagers like White Lion and Black Lion, just bigger stats. Power generators like Balin. And so Gold Paladin players who want to play golds competitively will definitely need to invest here. Next we have Genesis. Now Genesis is a surprising pick. I hear a lot of people saying it's surprising because did it necessarily top? Is it really tier 1 or tier 2? Honestly, no, but its support is really strong. Omniscient Regalia Minerva is an restander, and in the Link Joker metagame where lock is just really heavy and really popular, especially coming out of set 14 with Chaos Breaker Dragon and going into set 17 with a lot of Glendios builds and whatnot. Restanding just means that you get to actually proc stuff and actually get your number of attacks in, even if your front row is locked. Also, the support is amazing, right? Apple Witch Cider. Grade 1 on place, your Vanguard gets the following ability. Vanguard Circle, during your opponent's turn, your activated sentinels and retired rearguards are put into your soul instead of drop zone. Helps you fuel your soul. And you have Grade 2 Twilight Regalia Hesperus. In your soul, when this card is put into your drop zone, your Vanguard gets the following ability. Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, retire one of your opponent's rearguards. So, I mean, just more stuff to support any Genesis Vanguard in general is really, really good. It doesn't specify a Regalia name. Yes, Apple Witch Cider doesn't have the Regalia name, but it's just so splashable, and definitely units that you will see viable in Genesis decks to come. Why did I not include Angelica, which is the Break Ride and the rank reward? I'm biased towards the Turbo Minerva builds. I've seen the results, I've seen gameplay, and I really like the Turbo build more. I think that at this point in the game, Angelica is a bit too slow of a break ride, and cards like Cider and Hesperus specifically are just universally good down the line. You will always find these as viable options, while you might not see break rides or Angelica as viable options, nearing the end of the break ride era. Angelica, you'll probably stop playing the moment the next Genesis support like Legion stuff comes along. So, I personally value having Cider and Hesperus more. Minerva is still really good as a standalone unit, and so because of this, I definitely put these cards more valuable and more splashable and higher investment value than a card like Angelica. Next, we have Kagero with Dauntless Dominate Dragon Reverse or Dance Dance Revolution, as the memers say. Vanguard Circle. Number 4, lock a rearguard to get the following ability. When you reveal a grade 2 or less, retire one of your opponent's grade 1 or less rearguards. And when an opponent's rearguard is retired, get +5. The card skill does sound a bit weak, but in 0 you only get to play 13 grade 1s. Let's say 4 of them are PGs, so you have 9 possible grade 1s. You need to ride one of them, so you have 8 possible rearguards that you can play out and actually boost your attack with, right? So there actually isn't a lot of grade 1 slots that you can actually play out in the game of 0. So just to put that into perspective, is the retire that good? Probably I'd much rather retire an intercept or something, but it's actually not bad as to hinder your opponent's ability to actually hit numbers. Is it too late in the game? Probably, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily that bad as a whole. Other key cards that I'd probably value more would be like Dragonite Nishat, which is just your generic on hit counterblast 2, draw 1. Kagero does want counterblast to do other things, but on hit draw 1 definitely is always just flexible and is an option, and is nice to have around. Next, we have cards like Steel Dragon Georgette, which gives you power, gives you crit pressure, is solid. It's nice Steel Dragon support, I suppose, but most importantly, on place, Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle, unlock a card. And, it synergizes with stuff like DDR, but it's just, again, good against the Link Joker matchup. It's pretty notorious, and just having this in your pocket as maybe the 13th grade 3 is just nice. It's nice as an option. And overall, DDR showed us, that you can really dance to victory. It's super underrated, and is actually considered strong even when compared to the Nouveau package. If you've seen tier lists, or people talk about JP meta during set 15 or 16 before they were memeing DDR, after they actually, at some points actually, I recall seeing DDR matched neck and neck with Nouveau. Do I agree with that? Probably not, but it means that people actually, or some people actually considered it contend worthy. Like, they're a contender. They're a contender. So another example of not being able to, or not to judge a book by its cover, really. And it is important to note that I skipped the Dauntless support here because the name won't really get like proper support in the future, so it's pretty redundant. But at this moment, of course, if you're planning to play Dauntless Reverse, definitely get your 9+3s and 7+3s and stuff like that, and then that's definite, right? Next up, we have Royal Paladin with Ashley Reverse. I know some people are screaming at me right now, why is Ashley so down the list? Well, I think Ashley is good. Ashley is simple and solid, right? Lock 2, counterblast 1, retire something in the front row, call it a jewel name from your deck. You're retiring a front row, which means you have more access to punching your opponent in the face with your waifu, and your support is pretty solid too, like stuff like Miranda. specifically. Rearguard Circle, if your Vanguard is an Ashley, it gets +2, so it's an 11k beater. And if it hits a Vanguard, if your Vanguard's an Ashley, choose one of your units, it gets +3 to help you hit numbers, and you get to check top 3 for a Jewel Knight. And if all your cards in your deck are Jewel Knights, you get to check top 3 and add a card to your hand. Royal Paladin never got a specific structure for a PG. This is basically the equivalent to a Morgan Row in Nova Grappler's Blau right now. And you know how good Morgan Row is. Miranda doesn't even cost countermass. So that's really, really good, right? The problem is that you need to play a pure Jewel Knight build, and I wasn't a believer because I really like Ganslot and Blast Your Blade as tech pieces, but the results have shown that Miranda is just good enough to actually play as a 4 of, and you'd rather give up the Ganslot core and play the 4 Mirandas. So results show, and results don't lie. Definitely Miranda, you definitely do need these. And Knight of Extravagance Toulouse is just your generic on-place unlocker. It also helps you superior call something from your deck to an empty rearguard circle if you unfortunately have to ride it. But here's a fun fact: Royals actually have 2 on-place unlockers, and also don't sleep on Sanctuary of Light. It's a tier 0 meme, and you know, if you want any more persuading, go check out Different Fight or Shida. Next up, and last but not least, we have Narukami. Now, Narukami, generally speaking, was really oppressive, and finally they've started losing steam. With Eradicator Ignition Dragon, they did get some decent support. Just a new Break Ride, Countermass 1 to retire 2 instead, and then if your opponent has 1 or less Rearguard, Countercharge 1 to kind of refund that skill. So it's a more efficient retire, but isn't necessarily better than a front row retire. I'm not sure. I've seen lists that prefer Ignition Dragon though, but I really have to play this in practice to really know which one I prefer. You have cards like Deadly Eradicator Owe, which I think is honestly the best support for Eradicators right now. Rearguard Circle, when your grade 3 Vanguard is placed, you can put this to your soul to retire one of your opponent's front row Rearguards, which kind of compensates you for not playing Vowing anymore. And you also have Gravity Bolt, which, you know, is your generic unflipper. Unlocker on place Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle, just unlock 1 unit. So yes, I know Tempest Bolt exists, but no, I don't think it's a great addition. I think good old Descendant Gauntlet Buster still proves supreme, but even then, they've really fallen off the meta already. Still, overall, I think this is decent support, but I would personally save and invest in the next Narukami archetype instead, which is Brawlers, because as we all know, JP is moving into set 18 soon, and that is probably going to be Legion, and Brawlers has a lot more potential than whatever Eradicator support they have right now. And yeah, that's definitely just my opinion, but if you really want to play Eradicators, definitely go for it. Ignition Dragon is still solid, Owe is still solid. These 2 you definitely want to play in your Eradicator X. The others probably not, but they're nice tech options like Gravity Bolt. So that is basically it for this set overview. Set 15 is pretty exciting, 6 different clans. It's a lot of variety and a lot of meta defining cards. A lot of good pieces that you want to pick up for the long run. You know, stuff like Liberator support. Legion era is Liberators anyways. Ashura, if it didn't get nerfed, definitely you have to pick those up because they're like tier 0. There's no question. They're broken. Genesis stuff like Hesperus and Cider, definitely really valuable moving forward in Genesis as well. I can see that. And so overall, I think this set is pretty good in investment value. The clans that don't really have as much of an impact don't really have too many slots, so even if you're just pulling, like even if you're a gold player and you just really want gold stuff, because just there's more gold cards than the other clans, you just have higher odds of hitting something useful. Overall, I think that the problem with this set is that there's 6 different clans. It's more diluted. So if you're like a Royal fan, or if you're a Narukami fan and you're waiting for your support, well, unfortunately, you only get a handful of cards, but these cards prove to have an impact and make these clans stand out, at least, and get better than its current iteration. So that's basically all from this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I try to get to them as soon as possible. Of course, I appreciate you for watching this video. If you liked it and you found it useful, like the video. If you haven't subscribed already and you want to see more, every month I do these set overviews to prep global players and recap with JP players on what happened and what I expect going into global. So some stuff like birthday gachas I skipped because, well, birthdays are already over. It doesn't make sense to have them. But some stuff like potential erratas that I think would come early, I will mention. And I will specify that these are potential and expected only. You know, these didn't specifically happen on release, but these are things that I expect to be changed because of how big of an impact that they had in JP. So that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.